Hello everyone, I am Tarun Valireddy and again welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you how to deploy a static website using Amazon S3, DNS and adding security by adding the HTTPS using CloudFront. Let me explain you the high level diagram for the better understanding what we are going to do in this video. First, when a user type the domain name, for example like tarunvalireddy.in, it actually the Route 53 resolves the HTTPS that is provided by the CloudFront, and then the CloudFront will point to the bucket, will point the bucket S3, and then the static content of the web page will be appeared. So in this way we can deploy a static website using Amazon S3. Let me show you the how to we actually implement this project. To implement this project we actually need mainly three services, that are S3, CloudFront and Route 53. First let's start with the S3. We can see here I'm just created a empty bucket without any data, and make sure that we need to create a bucket that what we actually our domain name is. So here we can see I actually created a empty bucket with my domain name. If you see, I don't have any information or the objects in the S3 bucket. And coming to the Route 53, you can check here. I just created a domain, and that is hosted in a zone also. But if you want to create a domain for yourself, then we can simply go to the Route 53 and type the domain what you want to do. For example, if I want to check a domain that is called tarunvalireddy.com, it actually search it is whether it is available or not. We can see here the tarunvalireddy.com is available and it costs around $15 per year, but I don't want to again create this domain. Just I want to show you how to create a domain like this. We can create a domain what we want. Like this I created this domain. By that, after creating the domain, just open the S3 and make sure that we have to create a bucket like that exactly what we domain has already created, and simply open the bucket and upload the files what we want to be. I simply add the files. You can see here I am uploading the files of the static website, and I click upload. The files are being uploaded, but only the index file and CSS file are uploaded. The image files are not uploaded. Then again I will try to upload the files again. These are not required. These are being uploaded. By uploading the information in the CloudFront, it actually catches the information that in the edge locations, and when the users are trying to access our website, it will load fastly because of the it already stores in the cache memory. You can see here I already uploaded the files and images of the static website. And for now, if you want to check the exact permissions, I blocked the access for public, and this is the bucket policy automatically enabled when we are creating in a CloudFront distribution. I will explain it later. And for the properties, or nothing need to be changed, anything we can leave it as is. Now we can simply open the CloudFront and create a distribution. I already have two distributions, but I want to create another for the. By clicking on the create distribution, we need to choose the which plan we want to. I'm going with the free plan. And after that we need to give the distribution name. Example, I'm saying example static cap. We can give what the name we want, and we need to provide the domain what we have already created in the Route 53. I'm just giving the name, and we can check whether it is available or not, and it shows domain is associated with the Route 53. After that we need to click next, and it asking for the origin point where we actually want to specify the origin, whether it is an API gateway or the load balancer. For our purpose, we are actually the static app was in the S3, right? So I am choosing S3, and we need to point the S3 bucket endpoint by browsing here. Here we can see there is only one bucket is available in the S3. That's why it's showing only one. Just choose that. Everything leave as it is and click next. Don't need to change anything here. Here it asking for the TSL certificate. Here we need to create the certificate by actually creating by clicking on a new certificate, but I already have one certificate that I'm using. If you want to create a new certificate, then create certificate. It will create a certificate, or we can create a certificate in the certificate manager also by clicking on this. It now created a new certificate. I am using this. Here we can review all the things what we are actually enabled. Here we can see the bucket is only accessible by the CloudFront only, so and we are blocked the access for the public. That is what it's saying is, because you granted full access to origin, CloudFront can write and update S3 bucket policies that restrict access to S3 origin to the CloudFront. It actually says that we are actually blocked the public access and the other access to the S3 bucket, so we are giving access only to the CloudFront, and that can read and write the bucket details, because we need to point the details for the CloudFront to access the information in the S3. After that, simply click the create distribution. It's gonna take some time to create distribution. After creating that, we are going to configure the Route 53. Here we can see here it's going to be deploying. After it successfully deploying, I'm going to check whether it is working or not. Let me refresh once. After it successfully deploying, we can check by using this distribution domain of the CloudFront. Let it finish the deployment. Before it deploying, let me change the root object to the index file, and then when we before that I will show you the difference between root object and the normal thing. If you define the root object here, and then we know we don't need to give the exact path where our index file is. If you don't define, we need to give the particular path where the actual root file is. It's actually taking some time. If you copy this domain of the distribution and then paste it, we will see it shows that access denied. I think it was deployed. I think it's showing deploying, but if you type index.html, see here, we are able to access the website that we are hosted on the Amazon S3. We are able to access by using the path of /index.html. But if you want to access in the root path, then simply add the root object to index.html, save changes. It's one still deploying, but it's already working. Now if I reload, we don't need to provide this dot, we don't need to provide the index.html. You can simply access it, the root domain also. Now the CloudFront DNS is working. Now let me integrate with this Route53. Simply open the Route53 service, click on the hosted zone, click on previously created router, and whenever creating, only 2 records will be generated by default. This is not required. We can delete this. There will be only 2 records by default. It comes NS and SOA. We are going to create a new record, and that was, we don't need to provide any subdomain, but if you want to provide any domain, you can provide. And by using the alias, we are choosing cloud distribution as an endpoint, and then we need to choose which distribution of the CloudFront we want to use. After selecting the cloud distribution, create the record. Then here see, the distribution is created. By accessing the CloudFront domain name, we can access the website. By using the domain also, we can access now. Maybe it taking some time to load the website. Let me try to check. I think it's taking some time to reload the actual page. We can see here, by using the domain also, we are able to access the static website. In this way, we can simply deploy a static website using Amazon S3, CloudFront, and DNS. If you really like my explanation, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching this video.